Okay. So, last time I said that I was gonna have a script or I was gonna have like a specific topic. This video is great because I do have a specific topic for you, which I'm sure I put in the title of the video. We're gonna talk about art styles today. I think that's like a fun thing to talk about. And I think a lot of people are really interested in developing their own art style. I think a lot of people, it's useful for branding, like content branding. And you want people to, when they see your artwork, go, oh, clearly so-and-so drew this. So I wanted to talk about developing your art style, and more importantly, should you? Is it important? And the answer is no, I don't think it's important. I'm gaslighting you all. I actually don't think you should care about developing your art style. Sorry, I have a lisp, and it gets worse if my mouth is dry. I don't think you should care, like... I just wanted to talk about it. I'm just being a manipulator, a girl boss manipulator right now. I'll say this. If you're starting out art, you don't need to worry about developing an art style at all. Even a little. Like, you need to draw literally everything you can. You just need to draw. You need to do life drawing. You need to study photographs. You need to study light and shade. You need to draw boxes and do perspective. You don't need to worry about your art style at all. If you're worried about like marketing yourself online, I get it, I think. Like, that makes sense to me, right? Like, people are coming to you, especially for like commissions, because they like your aesthetic. Is it aesthetic? And I assume, I don't do commissions, but I assume that's why people commission you. It's because they want like your art style. They like the way you do X, Y, and Z. And that's also how you get followers, subscribers, etc., etc. So for social media marketing purposes, I think I get it. But for the purpose of developing yourself as an artist, if you're interested in that and you're just starting out, don't worry about it. What you need to do is you need to draw. I feel like I fucking know. I'm sorry. For the record, I'm just some dude. Like, I'm just some girl. I don't teach art. I've never been formally, like, out of like high school classes, I've never been formally trained in art. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I'm not necessarily good at it. Just as an aside, but for content, let's listen to my opinion. just for content in this video. I think that if you're starting out, you just need to draw from photos, honestly, from real life. You need to make sure you understand like value, tone, perspective. You just need to literally be figuring out how to draw. Just draw everything. Don't worry about like the stylistic nuances between, and another thing is, you don't have to worry about it because it'll happen naturally. It'll happen gradually, regardless of the effort you put in. You are going to develop an art style. You can't avoid it. Because you're going to process information and you are going to create in a way that is specific to you, because no one else has your experiences, no one else has your brain chemistry, no one else has your motor control, no one else can see through your eyes. Your art style is going to develop organically. You don't have to worry about it. You will naturally draw things that are aesthetic to you, if that makes sense. As you develop your skills, so will you develop your aesthetic. As you get better at noticing things, as you get better at noticing colors and planes and variations, you will naturally notice things that are appealing to you aesthetically. I think. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but it makes sense to me. And I needed something to talk about, so this is just my opinion. That's just, I think that's how it works, right? It makes sense to me. I don't know. But now, I argue in my head a lot. I just argue with myself all day because I don't talk to anybody. Like, I live alone. So I just talk to myself all fucking day. Having said that, I also disagree with myself. Like, everything I just said is wrong, I think. Excuse me. Oh, I need to drink water. It's so dry where I live. I'm sorry if it's gross. Listen to me drink water. You do need to worry about developing your art style, right? But from there's this Draftman podcast episode where they talk about finding your art parents. And from that regard, obviously they're right. Like it's Marshall Vandrick, like duh, they're fucking right. But it makes a lot of sense because they talk about finding things, elements of master's artwork that you think is aesthetically pleasing and that you would like to introduce into your own work. Makes a lot of sense. I think I try to do that to an extent. I really like Frank Frazetta's composition. Everyone fucking likes Frank Frazetta. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna research who you're gonna immediately fall in love with Frank Frazetta because everybody does, right? And I feel like in my community, that's the artist that lights up the most with like what my community draws. So I feel like if you guys are researching masters, you're gonna go fucking look up Frank Frazetta and try to copy Frank Frazetta. Like everybody does. But I like his compositions. They make a lot of sense to me. I like drawing planets. So that works. I also like sneaking colors in. Like he kind of does. Like, you know how if you have a child and they don't eat vegetables, you have to sneak vegetables into their food? Or like if you want to give a dog a pill, you have to sneak it inside of like peanut butter. That's what I do with colors. I try to like sneak colors in. And that is things that I'm copying from other artists. And it is, I'm not like attempting to create a style for myself, or I'm not attempting to create brand recognition. I'm trying to weave into my artwork things that I find aesthetically pleasing. And because I think it looks good, like I want to recreate it. And art styles just naturally develop that way, I think. But the important thing to note is they said that you can't pick babies for your art parents. Like you can learn from people who are new to art in the beginning, obviously. And like it would be hypocritical of me to not say that you can't learn from people who are new to art, because I'm new to art. But I think you want to study masters. You want to pick masters for like learning certain styles, because they know what they're doing, right? They've developed their technique for their whole lives, and they obviously have some like skill. And there's not a right and wrong in art, but like they're right. They're the best people to reference. Like you want to reference like drapery from Da Vinci or something. You don't want to learn how to draw from like anime, because anime you're not seeing all the fundamental work that's put in, and you need to go through the fundamental work, right? You're not seeing, and anime is also like simplified intentionally so that it's easy to do. So it's intentionally easy, so lots of information is intentionally left out. So if you're trying to not everybody has to get better. You don't have to. You can just trace anime cells all day if you want to. Like that doesn't bother me. But if you want to get better, I think that you need to first like if in the context of developing style, right? Like you're searching for elements that you want to incorporate into your own art. I recommend incorporating things from masters, like their composition, their shading, shape design. Shape design is important. Like find artists like Frank Frazetta. Who's the other? Bruno Vallejo? I don't know. Leyendecker. I always say Leyen. I think it's Leyendecker. Awesome, wonderful for shape design, and just incorporate those things. I don't think you need to worry about whether or not you draw, like whether or not you do like bright shiny highlights or subtle, you know what I mean? Or I don't think you need to worry about whether your style is more Bleach or more Dragon Ball. That's a horrible, but I mean it. It's a horrible example, but I mean it. You don't need to worry about those things. And I think that I picked art style. Oh, this is a good topic, right? Because I have guests in today's SpeedPaint. Got James and Taidaken. And I will link their information down below, but they submitted speed paints for me. I did a Bowsette drawing challenge, so you're gonna see Bowsette draw in 3 different ways, and you'll get to see like variations in the art styles. And I think that's topical, right? You can see how we all have vastly different styles, but we've we also like draw a lot. We've been practicing for a long time. We've had a lot of time to develop the skills, so you can see more of the like technique and the style in that way. But yeah, I'm gonna transition over now. I think my clip is ended. Thanks everybody, and go follow the people who submitted footage. That would be really nice. And subscribe. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Hello. Yeah. So, decided to, join in on this little challenge here. Drawing Bowsette. I went a little bit of a different route, I guess, with Bowsette here. In that she's going to be looking in a rather dominating way, I guess, at Princess Peach. Yeah, so quick sketch and on the line art already. Didn't think too much about it, honestly. Just kind of let my pen do what it was gonna do. You know, had a bit of trouble with Peach's face here, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just kind of turn my brain off and let myself not worry about the little details like the spikes and stuff. I didn't worry too much about getting them just right. Just kind of let them do their thing. It's also been a while since I've done any sort of voiceover for time lapse or recording, so yeah, not really sure what else to say. Just kind of, let it happen. I wanted to make sure that Bowsette had some good claws on her. I wasn't really sure what was going on with her spikes and shell situation, so just kind of did what felt right, I guess. Colors, I wanted to make sure that I went a little more saturated than I normally would. Just because of the subject matter, I guess. I've been doing a lot of color picking lately, but for this one I just kind of, just did whatever worked. Wanted to make sure that Bowsette had like a slightly less saturated look to her than Peach, just to kind of show like the contrast between the two different personalities, I guess, the two different people, two different creatures. I went for kind of like a soft gradient shading this time around. Again, just to kind of fit with the style a bit. I was experimenting. Wanted to get those nice shines and those nice highlights, especially on the skin there. We'll do it a bit more on the metals as well. A bit of highlighting will end up being on the cloth and stuff, but nothing too major in comparison. Eyes nice and shiny. I used kind of like a beige-ish kind of brownish tone for the shading, and just set it to, I think, linear burn on Clip Studio. And then the highlights were very soft yellowish tone with I think it was set to either add or add glow, maybe? No, not glow, just add, I think. Lots of little tricks. Add some extra little shadows there to really sell that there's a light source. And of course, Bowsette's completely infatuated by Peach, and Peach is completely infatuated by Bowsette's domineering energies here. So, a little bit of a vignette, and boom. That's it. That's all. Just, yeah. Hope you dig it. Let me know. What do you think? Should I do more stuff like this? Should I join in on more things like this? And thank you to Tenacious Light Cowboy for hosting this challenge and for allowing me to, do the time-lapse thing and voiceover thing, even though I kind of suck at talking for 4.5 minutes. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.